I ain't drinking this slipping. Ain't a religion. Drinking with this. Get hit with a miss. Can't get them digits. You're lying with it. I stay with the truth. They calling the truth. The enemy scared me. They wonder where I've been. They trying to stay away. They plan every second day. There's no way they can stop it. Control the whole world. We'll deal with a mind. The boys and girls have a better future. We'll turn the world. Flip it upside down. Dig a hole in the earth. I don't drink. I don't be getting drunk. I stay high on the source with some skunk. I ain't buying from them places that you should buy. I don't get twisted and fucked up in my fucking mind. I ain't into religion. No bad decisions. No curses for me. I don't put them on me. I put them on you. This way you be. I ignore the people. Cause they don't know me. I don't drink. No bad decision. Don't be calling no name. Cause I ain't into religion. I ain't got belief. Look that I know. I don't forget them. Where the fuck you go? You went to the church. That pastor been lying. He never tell truth. He's the one I spied. He been given the job. And he don't even know it. He's a doorkeeper. But he can't even show it. They got him deceived. He told the blind in that pulpit. He up there leading the blind. I don't be drinking. I ain't into religion. I don't go to church. I don't be doing them decisions. I don't serve nobody. Me and the sauce be one. Yeah, we a collector. That's why y'all want it done. I don't be drinking. I ain't into religion. I know I'm the one. Fuck your bad decision. I don't be drinking. I ain't religious. Ain't religious. Don't be giving that bullshit. Don't come with that cool shit. Don't come with that bullshit. I ain't trying to hear it. Send you to the school quick. Don't you know that all the ever did was lie to you? I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell you the truth. You know where to stop us. Red is everything. You can't drop us. We is everything. Yeah, we make everything good. Some of that is something good, yeah. And I'm thinking of just who we are. The devil, he said that the track, he can't go far. Matter of fact, he's just playing chess. He's still playing chess without a vest. And that's what take you by the knife to a gunfight. He can roast and toasted, twisted all night. He don't know it's coming. Peace and love, peace and love, family, peace and love, good vibrations, truth, honesty, respect, family, unity, love, and light. I love all of y'all. So let's go ahead. We're going to get this going. Remember, I told y'all, and of course, you know, I can't just tell you something without proving it. So I got to keep proving what I've been talking about. This is going to be a video. I do believe that everybody is going to love. I believe it. I really do. Oh, look at that. That's good. That's good. I wonder if. No, can't do that. That'd be nice. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. We're going to get this thing going. So I'm about to start it up. I'm going to blow the screen big. And then when I got a comment, I'll make the screen smaller. How y'all just seen it. And then I'll pause and say something. Now, remember I told y'all that they want y'all to hate yourselves. So I want y'all to open mind real quick. There's a lot of things I told y'all. And I told y'all I was going to give y'all the evidence. This is something that a long time coming. And I actually was going to do this a couple of days ago. It was, I don't want to say getting put off, but I guess you can kind of say it kind of got put off. Busy, tired, working, a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, this is going to help you even further. Remember, a lot of people come from different places, and I keep emphasizing on that. Our people, we should know who we are. I've told you that our bodies, the inside of them, are not regular body parts, they're dragon body parts. I told y'all that. We're not reptilians, we're not lizards. We're not none of that stuff. Now, there were good dragon people and there were bad dragon people. The bad dragon people obviously turned into reptilian lizards. The good dragons stayed with the melanin and they usually had dreadlocks. Some were brown, some were lighter brown, some were dark, some were dark brown. Kind of like what you see today, huh? However, at first, though, we were called a different name. It was called the niggers. Not Nigers, not, you know, they said Niger, basically the best way to say it, but they was calling us, was actually pronounced Niger. Niger is exactly they pronounce it, but they were calling us niggers. And there's a reason they want you to hate yourself. Pronunciation would have been Niger or lion people, but not as the lion old people like the fallen ones. That's another ball game. There were good guys with that. And bad guys at that too. Same with the dragon people. Same with the Nigers. Same with the lion people. And same with the dragon people. You had good and bad. So this is going to help you piece together a lot of stuff. Remember, and what they were calling heaven, we kicked all the bad guys out. We had a war. We had a beef. We bust their ass. So, of course, they changed. They became evil. They started looking different. They started hating more. They started hating us more. They came down to a lower dimension to rewind time, try and travel, and they started a whole bunch of mess. And that's why we're in this situation that we're about to be out of, and they know it. So they're pissed off. So what I need y'all to do, give your undivided attention to the video. I will explain things. So if there's something you understand, let me explain when I make it small like it is now after I blow it up big. If you have questions, please ask them. If I don't answer the questions right away, understand, let the video play, and I cannot see a comment again until I make it small. Like right now, I can see all y'all comments. When I make it big, I cannot see one comment. I'm only going to see the whole entire screen. Well, like if you wasn't watching this live, okay?
Y'all can see words. It's okay to communicate with each other in the program and type, share information. Nobody knows everything. Okay, well, we do remembering everything. So as of right now, we're still remembering. Okay, the higher self, you know everything. But as you and your lower self climbing up to a higher dimension, you are still learning. Okay, yes, it's weird. It is what it is. All right, let's go. I want y'all to pay attention now. It's important. Make sure I got everything up because I got to make sure I'm on point too. Because I can't tell y'all pay attention. I ain't got it where it needs to be. All right, won't be no music for this section because it's important that y'all pay attention. Y'all ready? And I will be talking in the video. Here we go.
NEGUS, the niggers. They are. It's a real name, a real term. They were supposedly these godlike beings that had super duper advanced technology. They were black people that had the capability of taking an etherical form or using an avatar body, which for whatever reason they chose a black avatar body or a brown skinned avatar body to inhabit. And they had they were, but like any race of any being in any dimension, you have yin and you have yang, no matter where you go. I don't care where you go, you're going to have yin and you're going to have yang. They had good and they had bad. Just like some of the Anunnaki were good, some were bad. Same thing with the niggers. The niggers were multidimensional, probably, or either the capability of taking this etherical form. It's like an etherical being. They had the ability to go from etherical to physical form. The physical form wasn't magic. It was inhabiting. They would transfer the consciousness or the essence into an avatar body that they had claimed of their own, that they probably created through stem cell technology or whatever technology it was. But they were extremely intelligent, very, very smart. They interacted with humans and engaged human beings on this planet and also taught human beings, and mostly initially in the region of Africa and on the East and some of the Asian areas as well, where a lot of the Asians at that time were actually black Asians, black Asians, I should say. Asians didn't become lighter or more yellow until later on. This is thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, until Thoth ordered.
So, again, like I was saying to you, we the ones that built the Great Wall of China. Our people did that. We also to protect these people from the fallen ones. That's when they were black. Okay? Now, things changed somewhere where they got some interjection into them. Kind of like after the war happened. And unfortunately, the bad side did stuff. And on that particular part of the war, that battle, they got the upper hand. So they decided to do a whole bunch of fuck shit, as we discussed with the Anunnaki, the Draco Anunnaki, the Nephilim, and all these different types of races besides the Moors and the Dracos and the Lizzies, and there's so many different things. Y'all know there's 666 of them. That's why there's 666 religions. So somehow, after the war, after the battle, yes, Niger, that's why they called you nigger. Supposed to be calling you Niger. Niger. In East America, there's a land called Niger. As in Africa, Niger. Boom. Not that fake Africa down there. Respect to the Africans. We appreciate y'all. We're glad y'all are stepping up and doing what y'all doing. I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to say too much about you Africans right now. Unfortunately, you Africans, you got to realize that we're not the same people. We don't have, well, some of y'all did us wrong, but that's another ball game. We're not even going to go into that. It's kind of funny. Everybody wants to be cool with us right now. And there's people saying they black, although we don't use that term, that's derogatory. Start calling, we are indigenous to this land. We are original, the first to this land. If you didn't know, okay, we are what you like to call God, except we don't use that G word because it's pagan. If you want to collect terms, it's a 33 ether strand light being, okay, source being, sources in us, we get mixed with the source from our spirit, which is energy, cannot be separated. It's like if you pour 2 bowls of soup together and you mix it up, that's us and source. There's no way to separate it. You have to pour the whole thing, which you can't do because source won't let you. So it is what it is, buddy. So you might just understand that we are source and source is us. Why? Because that's how source wanted it. We exist simply because we exist, because source said so. It's that simple. All right. If you don't like it, go talk to Source. I don't think you want to do that though. It don't work. It will not work out in your favor, especially if you're against us. Source will not tolerate that. All right. Now, so something happened. We will protect these people from the bad guys. We will teach these people good things. The book told you that at first some of these people were actually good. Yes, we had some of our folks on this earth too, if you didn't know, that had the correct DNA, that we were teaching correct things. Now, someone came along later and put some white stuff in them. And that's why I keep on telling you, all the other nationalities are nothing more than Asiatics. You can call them white, they're Asian. You call them Puerto Rican, you're still Asiatic. You call them Dominican, you're still an Asiatic. No matter what you are, Japanese, you're an Asiatic. Huh? Caucasian, you're an Asiatic. Mexican, you're an Asiatic. Pie-faced people, Asiatics. That's why we call y'all pie faces. Asiatic people. Y'all are Asiatic. Y'all were mixed, mingled, and messed up. Because of that, and we took the DNA, the melanin away from Duff, we kicked him out. He didn't have no melanin, but he gave y'all 2 sparkles of his blood, and whap a boom, hey y'all up. Okay? So there's a difference between who was good and who was bad. Again, I keep telling you, this was galactic warfare, just like there was some Anunnaki who were good, and there were a whole lot who were big time bad. All right? You're going to have to let the cards fall where they may. But end of the day, you must realize that you are the ultimate being. You are Source. You are what they are calling God. You will all with your mind. With your mind, you control everything. All you got to do is keep thinking they can't have nothing and that we get everything. And guess what? They'll get nothing and we'll get everything. That's simple. Everything they try won't work because they'll get none of their plans and we'll get everything. Just keep thinking that. We control it all. Period. Bottom line sinker. They know it. The devil's going around in the Middle East telling everybody that he's scared that we woke up. This is why they're trying to push church and state. This is why they're trying to come with a Sunday law. Fuck the Sunday law. I will never go to church. Fuck you. You can might as well close those doors. Nobody believes your lie anymore. News come out, folks to go to church anymore. We ain't never going to church, you damn reptilians. We're waiting for y'all to get zapped out of reality because what you don't understand, the great flash will happen and it's going to cook and fry you right out this reality where you will never ever exist again and no other reality ever again. You're going to be gone like you never existed. We don't have to worry about you no more. Okay? And on top of that, you made people white. Asiatics. This is why you hear a lot of our teachers say everybody else is Asiatics. Some people say they're just the devil's kids. Yeah, they are. Huh? Because why? They got 2 drops of blood. We don't have none of that blood. Remember, right? You have to remember how much we have. And we have way more. They said 80% of the DNA, which is your blood, and everything else is junk DNA out, people. That means it is Source DNA. You got 80% of Source in you. You are mixed with 80% of Source. The devil is mixed with 30% of Source. And he gave somebody else 5% of Source, 5%ers, and the 5%ers gave somebody 2% of their Source. But see, when we cut them off from us, they lost that DNA. So the DNA it gave those people were no longer Source DNA. They were cut off. This is why it has bad effects. This is why they look different. This is why they ain't got melanin, because we cut them off. And when he interjected into them, they got cut off. This is why I told you I don't take the you know what or do anything they say. I don't care what they say. Don't do nothing they want. Don't believe in no doctor. Don't go to no doctor. Figure out on your own. You're better off. Hey, listen, you won't get interjected with them if you avoid a doctor. That's all I'm got to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, let's keep going. Now you're starting to see that there were good guys who were us, and there are also bad guys. Okay? This is a multi-galactical war that started with brothers and sisters. Okay? However, we cut some brothers and sisters off. We got rid of them. They can never, ever return again. This is why they decided to come with a fucked up plan to leech off of you and all your other people. Okay? This is why I'm predicament that you in now, because they got mad that we kicked them out and cut them off and decided they're going to leech off for us. As you see, they're the ones that flipped the script on you. That's right. This is a family warfare, except we cut them off so they're no longer family. but it did start off like family. You just gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta make the shit make sense, whether you want to admit the shit or not. All right. Now, yes, they're no longer family because we cut them off, but it's still a warfare that started as was a happy family until they got jealous of the source and us, the source. If you don't understand that, you might want to figure out who you are. Let's keep.
One of his ship members, or one of his crew members, or one of his team, whatever you want to call him, one of his followers that came from wherever he came from, whatever planet or wherever place that was. They came from the island of Udall initially, but he told that guy to go out there to Asia and kickstart civilization after the Great Flood. So before the Great Flood, there were Black Asians out there, and the new person that went out there to kickstart civilization after the Great Flood put a genetic marker on the people there. That's when they became. That's when they started.
So the Great Flood was to get rid of who? Us. We were big, we were tall. They was getting rid of us. Why did they want to get rid of? Why did they want to cause a flood? To wipe most of us out that were here who were communicating. We were having a war, if you don't know, against the Anunnaki bad guys, the Draco Anunnaki. Okay, reptilian Anunnaki. We was having a war with them because they was trying to turn the Moors and enslave the Moors, and they was trying to turn them into Lizzies, Draco. And the Moors, if you don't know, when they were first good, they had a woman on their planet because the devil lied to them. All right, he didn't make a woman. He put them to sleep and claimed he made a woman from them. He lied to them. He deceived the Gentile. Now, the Moors were not royal blood. They were not royalty. However, they were being good. So we decided we're going to help them fight against the bad Anunnaki. After all, we kicked the bad Anunnaki out. They became our problem because we still had beef with them. But now they ran around other planets picking on other black folks, as they like to say. So we stepped in and fought the war. Unfortunately, the Moors got tricked and deceived, and they started believing a lie that the devil was telling. The lie was that we didn't mean nobody no good. The same lie he told in heaven. The lie was that the source has himself, and the source has itself, and the source made a body for itself, and the source walks around in the body, but yet the source is running around all over the place as a big ball of light. He felt that wasn't fair. They want all the power, he was telling everybody. But that wasn't the case. We just knew his heart was bad, so we made sure we was first and second in command because we couldn't trust the third in command, and then he took a whole lot of our people. Now, when that happened, unfortunately, we say first and first if you want to say it like that because it's still one and the same. All right. Now, the devil got mad and they all got mad. So they started beefing with these dudes. So we tried to come to the rescue, but then the devil tricked them and they brought them to the lie. Unfortunately, they realized the lie later on, okay? The lie later on, when they found out the devil actually wanted to enslave them, is when they want to call them their elite. This is what you have the elite on our planet behind the white Draco running stuff, and they pretty much know they're done. All right? They came down because they asked us if they could stay here because they had nuked their planet. The reason they nuked their planet because they didn't want their peasants, as they called them. Sorry, Africans, that's what they called y'all. You're more kings and queens who didn't have any royal blood called y'all peasants. I'm just calling what they said. And actually, a lot of you Africans on this planet now came with some of the elite. So just so you know, the ones that are on this planet, even in Africa, you're supposed to be what they consider royal blood on what they call Moors. What they call Mars now. Mars is Moors. It's still green on one side. It's not totally destroyed. But that's another story. However, so what happens after that? All right. So when you sit there and you do the research on this, which you will find is that, yes, they asked, we let them stay in Africa. When they unfortunately, the ones who were stuck on Mars nuked the planet to avoid slavery from the devil didn't realize that you cannot do that. We told them that they couldn't do that. No suicide. Well, unfortunately, you do that, you're choosing a bad side. That's why you don't kill yourself. All right, you don't do that to yourself. Well, they turned in what you call the Martian men. Okay, Martian men are controlled by the reptilian Draco Lizzies, and also controlled by the tall grays, the tall whites, and also controlled by the Archons, which is your head devil, and of course along with the Draco Anunnakis. All right, so hope that I didn't give y'all too much because I'm saying an awful lot. So unfortunately, they became that. Now, Yes, did they tell the people where they escaped to? Yeah, so they took those Martian men who were much more men, and they tracked down the Moors that came down here who was trying to escape the devil's enslavement. And well, they couldn't, and they got tracked down, and they got turned to the reptilian people. Yes, right. So they came against you, and they took over your place called American, as in the Khan people, as the Dragon people. Okay, because you know our bodies were dragon body parts. Okay, now, but we didn't call ourselves that. At the time, we were calling ourselves Tatarians because they were black, long, tall dreadlocks. Okay. Just so you know, they wasn't white. They whitewashed it so you wouldn't know who you were. So if you say the Niger or lion people, if you say, and I ain't talking about the white ones, if you say dragon people, the Khan people, you're actually talking about, and this is talking about the same people. It's just we felt from one level, not due to us, but due to the shit they did. Don't let them fool you. They was not given permission to do what they did. We bust their ass. They got mad, and they simply came over here maliciously. And we tried to protect some people. It didn't work out. It definitely didn't work out. But now it's working out, ain't it? That's why they all trying to say they black. We know y'all ain't us, and we don't even use that term black, so stop using it. That's a derogatory term. You need to throw that shit right in the trash where it came from. All right. So this kind of give you a storyline. Now, because I'm going to show the rest of this video, I'm going to click on another video that's going to bring this full circle. That's why I'm giving you all this load of information that I'm giving to you. If I'm talking too fast, you just run the video back from the beginning and pause and stop until you fully get it. I'm trying to get it all done.
Sort of looking more like what they look right now. But you're going to find that black people were indigenous around this entire planet. And this has nothing to do with the theory that the planet was one giant, landmass. If you really look at planetary physics and study physics of planets, you'll realize that you couldn't have the landmass on one side of a planet because the planet would literally have a pole shift of the crust and flip. So I don't believe in the Pangea theory, just my personal opinion. I believe in the theory that comes out of the Enuma Elish, the seven tablets of creation, that talks about our Earth being broken off from Tiamat and recoalescing as our planet in this particular orbit right here. So it's a lot, but the Negroes were real, and it's a real terminology that was used. How it ended up maybe getting into Hispanic and then getting used later on by slave masters is another story. I'm not sure of how it diverged into that, but the original term Negroes is real, and it was specifically talking about super highly advanced black people that had the capability of moving from the etherical, I forget the exact term other than that, into a physical form.
All righty. Let me jump back. What's it doing? Hold on, y'all.
Extraterrestrial hypothesis that suggests UFO sightings are caused by visitations from outside.
There we are. It was giving me a problem. We're not watching that one. That would be a form of grace if you want to know what that was. But no. Go further back and pause that. What are you doing to me? All right, here we go, y'all. Usually I don't let you see all this, but I don't mind this time. Pause that. Boom. This brother, I suggest you subscribe to him. He's smart. He's pretty smart. He figured it out. And I get happy when I see people figuring it out. I get real happy. I don't know about you, but I get jump for joy happy, man. I almost jump out my damn shoes half the time happy I get when I see another brother figure it out. So the Tartarians, the Nigers, whatever you want to try to call us, they had so many damn names for us. Let's just go with Tartaria for now, because that was the most recent before they changed it, okay? There was some of us who became bad, some of us who were good. This will explain some things to you, okay? The good guys stayed good. Some of the bad guys became Moors. Some of the bad guys, unfortunately, did what the devil wanted. We couldn't help them. We tried, okay? And they turned on us in the long process, okay? Now, you heard me say Tiamat. It is true that they shot nukes at the asteroid belt outside of the habitable zone. If you don't know what that is, you need to look up which you should already know. But yeah, look it up, man. I'm surprised that people don't know what that is. A lot of folks don't even know what that is. That just blows my mind. But look up habitable zones so you can understand. And what I like to say to folks, if you shoot the white ball at the bunch of balls on the pool table that is racked up, what happens to the balls? They go everywhere and they hit everything, including themselves. Okay, that's what happened. So planets hit each other. This will happen again. It's called a natural thing that's going to happen. If you don't know, it's not because of them. It just happens every X amount of years. It's called a reset. We do it on purpose. We're going to have the great flash. Okay, a lot of things may happen because they are worried about this. They're not going to tell you about it. You could pick this up on YouTube. And when I was in marketing, me and the marketing guys, I was just making all that money with freaking keep playing that video over and over and say, bro, they're not even telling people about this. It's crazy. It's a natural disaster. All right? Plain and simple. Now, people like to say Tiamat was our mother. That's not true. Planet can't have people. Planet can't birth people. I keep hearing folks say that. That's not true. We're not created, y'all. Nothing created us. Nothing birthed us, okay? The portal is a woman's you-know-what. We decide if we come or not. We get asked to come. We're not forced to come. Unless, of course, we talk about the time trap that happened after a certain time, okay? Now, that's another story, though. Now, Tartarus was black people. Tartarus was tall black people, us, with dreadlocks. Some dark brown, like you see some of my dreads are dark brown. Some of my dreads are black. I never had my dreads get to the point of being light brown. I have seen brothers that have dreads that are light brown, naturally. And I have seen brothers who, unfortunately, dye their hair, their dreadlocks, blondish or reddish, maroonish. I've seen all types of crazy stuff. Nothing new under the sun. What we did back then, you're doing it now, okay? That explains colors of dreadlocks in case some of y'all are too simple not to put two and two together. All right? We weren't supposed to be doing that, though. Did we get attacked? Yes, we got attacked around the 17th century, and we said everything. So then who nuked Tartarus? Because somebody nuked Tartarus. Somebody nuked all the black people of Tartarus that escaped past the ice wall and rescued some of the other people who were small and was black. Who? This we need to ask. Who nuked Tartarus? Who wanted the land? So that's who nuked it, who wanted the land. Who also, after they nuked the land and buried Tartarus city, because Tartarus was all around the whole entire earth. Free energy for the whole earth. These buildings were on the whole earth, which means the whole earth were Tartarusans still here. That's the name, it was Tartarus. So Tartarus, the whole earth was Tartarus at the time. So when they came, besides the flood, what else did they do? They nuked the earth and they caused a flood. Why? Because they flooded Tartarus. The great flood was the flood Tartarus to get rid of us, not Nephilim giants. They lied. It was to get rid of you because they wanted the land. Why is the bills missing? Because the bills were all in every single spot, every single building of Tartarus. The bills kept reptilians, Dracos, and everything else from coming from Lower Realms and any other Lower Realm, because they come from Lower Realm, to invade this place and take over this place. So we had the bills on purpose. They could not land on the surface or come up from under the ground because of the bills. This is why the Anunnaki nuked it outside the inhabitable zone with the rocks to cause the great flood, to get rid of the black folks with the dreadlocks that they were calling Nigers, that they changed the name to nigger, right? Which is similar to Naga, and Naga is the reptilian. You see that? The Nagas were bad. The Nigers were good. You see that? But they didn't want the Nigers. They wanted the Nagas. So they had to flood all of the Nigers to make it safe for the Noggers. So they can sit up there and use the Noggers and the Draco and the Anunnaki Draco and the Lizzies and all of the other counterparts, which is 666 of them. I'll be here all day. You know I know them all, the names anyway. All right. Then They all came against us. Confederate against you. Do you get it? Now let's play the video and watch.
Okay, you guys, I've got you over here at Dark Waters 9. This is this guy's YouTube channel. There's something on here, though, that I wanted to share with you guys. So here we go.
Structures in Europe, Asia, and even America share the same distinctive features, not forgetting that they also seem to be constructed with methods far too advanced for their supposed time periods. It raises the question, is our historical timeline accurate, or has it been completely fabricated to hide something, or were they all built by the same architect? This is where it gets crazy. There was a colossal empire named Tartaria that was a highly advanced civilization with technology and knowledge far beyond even our current time. They have even been credited with the construction of the Great Wall of China. But it gets even more unsettling. What if the dates on these buildings are wrong? Imagine if that number 1 wasn't a 1 at all. Our history could be off by 1,000 years. The current timeline is a lie. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, they held events called World's Fairs to use as cover-ups to demolish our advanced past. Many recount that these structures were wiped out days after the events. This was evidence of a global civilization, a civilization whose roots could be traced all the way back to ancient Egypt.
I do wonder where this palace is. This is a unique building.
This wasn't just a flood, it was a reset, a geospiritual purge, not from nature, from them. The elite bloodlines didn't just erase history, they buried it.
From us.
This wasn't just a flood, it was a reset, a geospiritual purge, not from nature, from them. The elite bloodlines didn't just erase history, they buried it.
Tricked you so you wouldn't know who you were.
The mud wasn't water and dirt, it was
Took your
liquidated memory, a slurry of alchemical reaction, sound frequency, and geo-engineered destruction. This was weaponized Earth. They triggered it using ancient tech, resonance devices, tower harmonics, something like harp, older, much older. It didn't just cover buildings, it silenced truth. Tartaria wasn't a lost empire, it was the empire, worldwide, unified, based on free energy, ether tech, vibration, sound, water, and sacred geometry. The architecture still whispers it. Star forts, orphan trains, cathedrals tuned like instruments. They were building with resonance, not brick, and that scared the parasite class. So what did they do? They turned the ether grid against itself, hijacked the somatic fields, triggered a resonance collapse. Stone became liquid, mountains bled, the ground rose and swallowed whole cities. That's what the mud was. Not sediment, not flood water, resonance fallout from a frequency war. The so-called mud flood appears worldwide. Buried windows, half-submerged doors, cities built on top of cities, perfectly preserved ruins beneath fresh layers of soil. But there's a problem. There are no matching water systems, no mega tsunamis, no volcanic evidence. And 20 plus feet deep, powered by resonance, joint on you. Just distributed wirelessly through sound. They just wanted to distribute people. They shut down the grid, and to do that, they had to collapse the frequency field. There's soil liquefaction by the ground at just the right frequency, and the solid turns to sludge. Not water, not mud, but a state change triggered by vibration. The earth becomes
They did some sucker shit. Don't worry, I got you. They did some sucker shit, and we about to put it back on there. All right. I paused it and I rewinded some of it wherever you most likely had missed. So I want y'all to really pay attention. This how you know when somebody's giving you something that's information. This is the truth about you. They don't want you to know that you were the dragon people. They don't want you to know that you were the Nigers, not niggers. They don't want you to know that you were Tartarius. They don't want you to know that Tartarius was actually the whole entire planet. That's what they didn't want you to know, because that would be who you could say you are to get back a lot of your stuff. All right? Don't worry. We're taking back the planet anyway. They don't have a choice. And they won't be here. Zap, zap, zap. Zap, zap, zap. How? Great Flash. Heavy up and come on now.
They were powered by resonant architecture, buildings designed to generate and receive frequency. Domes, antennas, star forts, giant tuning forks disguised as monuments. These structures didn't just look beautiful, they harnessed free energy, pulled from the ether, distributed wirelessly through geometry and sound. The enemy didn't just want to destroy the people, they needed to shut down the grid. And to do that, they had to collapse the frequency field. There's a phenomenon called soil liquefaction. Vibrate the ground at just the right frequency, and the solid turns to sludge. Not water, not mud, but a state change triggered by vibration. The earth becomes a trap. Foundations fail, stone sinks. And if it's done on a massive scale, you get the mud flood. It didn't fall from the sky, it rose from beneath, triggered by resonance weapons. This was geoacoustic warfare, and it worked. Ancient texts speak of trumpets that leveled cities, walls that fell from shouting, temples that hummed themselves into collapse. These weren't myths, they were acoustic weapons. Tartaria likely had its own frequency defenses, so to break it, the controllers needed tech even stronger, tuned to the exact harmonic signature of Tartarian architecture. This wasn't random destruction, it was targeted dissonance, resonant sabotage. The same way opera singers shatter glass, but scaled up to citywide collapse. Every reset needs a story, a cover, a myth, and so they blamed it on floods, natural disasters, time, chaos.
Okay, guys. So this is now the part where you get a clue when they told you story about the Bible, when they told you women walked around the Great Wall. It was a lie. They lied. They sent men, soldiers, demon men, Asiatic, of all types of races men that were made by the Moors and gave them 2%, what they say 1%. The Moors are the 5%ers. The 33%, actually it's the 30%. The 30%er, because he's not 33, he likes that number though. That 30%er would be the Anunnakis. Okay, you are 80%er. All right, this is why I don't like you. You just too much of this. You just too source. You too much source for them. You can do too much. So what they do? They told you that they sent women to march around our cities. They lied. They said they sent pie-faced Asiatic of different nations. You can call them whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're all Asiatic. They all come from the same motherfucking shit. They're all made by the same motherfuckers. Okay? It is what it is, y'all. Keep it real. Keep it 100. Keep it a buck. So what they do? This is why trumpets are evil. This is why we say trumpets are evil. They have all these different trumpets. They made all these different horn sounds. They built a grid on their side. Remember, they were on the earth at the time, right? Stronger than harp, and they caused our frequency to collapse, making their rise, making our buildings sink in the dirt. It's almost like if you put a bunch of modified toy houses in a sandbox, but you can pick up the sandbox, and the sandbox has a bottom, and you shake it a little bit, the houses start sinking. Okay, that's how they caused the flood. They didn't want you to know that you were Niger, not nigger, Nigers. They didn't want you to know, all right, that you are what they would call lion people. We don't even use that term. They don't want you to know. They never want you to know, okay, that you are Tartaria. Or the correct term, you are Tartarans. They don't want you to know the dragon race, the black race, okay, the dreadlock race. They don't want you to know who you really were. And this is why they did what they did. They had to destroy what you had to make it stronger than what you had, so they could bury everything you had, which means a lot of folks were buried in the dirt. Now you may see some of the folks that's laying on the mountains and stuff. Some of those folks are people. Now you know that now. I keep telling y'all that flood was not caused to get rid of no Nephilim. They tricked y'all so bad. It was made to get rid of us because they couldn't take this planet as long as we made the whole planet a weapon. So they couldn't invade it. You see that? We made it so they couldn't do anything. And we were just freaking making shit move without touching it with our minds, throwing shit around, building buildings without touching anything, bro. Flying, doing all types of fucking brilliant shit. 999 abilities. Bro, the insectoid race, the lower race, all these beings of outside nations couldn't handle that. As they like to say, there'll be no gods amongst the humans. I keep telling you, we ain't human. Human means sub. A sub of something that was not real. Huh? Native means somebody who was put here. That's why they call themselves Native Indians. They were put here. They don't belong here. Huh? Matter of fact, Dan Calloway be telling y'all to be telling you the same shit I be telling y'all. Matter of fact, man, I ain't gonna say anything. I should call him one day and get his number and talk to him. Anyways, yeah, you see what it is. This don't even take no explanations. Keep watching.
They rewrote the maps, changed the calendars, buried the history, literally. But the truth is buried in plain sight. They silenced the cathedrals, they shattered the grid, but they didn't stop using sound, they just inverted it. Now the frequencies aren't healing, they're draining, designed to destabilize. Sirens, alarms, fluorescent hums, high-pitched appliances, constant low bass in cities, 440 hertz hearing noise, you're being programmed by it. The war on frequency never ended, it just changed pitch. Modern cities don't just look soulless, they're engineered.
Yeah. Thanks for waiting, y'all. Thanks for waiting again. I told you they was going to try to do that. That's why I paused it and then ran it back a little bit just so y'all didn't miss anything. I'm adding it right now. Here we go. Bada boom, bada bang. Ain't nothing but a thing. All right, let me get my face up out of here. All right, y'all ready? Where we left off, y'all ain't missed nothing. I made sure. They are mad, but we don't care. It's meant to be told, and we're supposed to know and they can't stop it from coming out. 2025 is when all the truth comes out and all the lies are exposed. Let's get it. Yes, yes. Oh. Hold on, y'all.
Hello, and
yeah, they tried to suck
them. And even America.
Bam. All right.
Triggered by resonance weapons. This was geoacoustic warfare, and it worked. Ancient texts speak of trumpets that leveled cities, walls that fell from shouting, temples that hummed themselves into collapse. These weren't myths, they were acoustic weapons. Tartaria likely had its own frequency defenses, so to break it, the controllers needed tech even stronger, tuned to the exact harmonic signature of Tartarian architecture. This wasn't random destruction, it was targeted dissonance, resonance sabotage, the same way opera singers shatter glass, but scaled up to citywide collapse. Every reset needs a story, a cover, a myth, and so they blamed it on floods, natural disasters, time, chaos. They rewrote the maps, changed the calendars, buried the history, literally. The truth is buried in plain sight. They silenced the cathedrals, they shattered the grid, but they didn't stop using sound, they just inverted it. Now the frequencies aren't healing, they're draining, designed to destabilize. Sirens, alarms, fluorescent hums, high-pitched appliances, constant low bass in cities, 440 hertz tuning standard, Discord disguised as music. You're not just hearing noise, you're being programmed by it. The war on frequency never ended, it just changed pitch. Modern cities don't just look soulless, they're engineered to be spiritual.
All right, so I want y'all to understand quick too. When they came the first time, they got that ass whooped. All right, because after they did that old nuking the asteroids that hit all these planets, when they came, they said we shot arrows at them. In other words, we shot weapons that were not physical, and they couldn't do anything about it. This was spiritual abilities, and so when they left, they came back. The Tartarians. We said they came back stronger, a lot stronger. All they did was figure out how we made our planet a weapon. That's what they figured out. And once they figured out, they knew how to combat it. And yeah, now you know how they did it. Plus the apple. But I told y'all about that. That's something they gave the Moors. All right, later on. Help them rule over us and make us forget who we were. Because it wasn't good enough that they did what they did and then did what they did a second time on some sucker shit. They had to go further. And they still did more by pushing the pastors, the slavery, which wasn't a slave, they tricked you. But that's another story, okay? That's another story. Although I explained that probably like a million times. Let's keep going.
Actually sterile. Box shapes, low ceilings, right angles that deflect energy, fluorescent lighting that drains your aura. None of it flows, none of it sings. Compare it to Tartaria, vaulted domes, spirals, gold sacred ratios. Your phone emits a frequency, so does your router, your smart meter, your fridge, your watch. Each one tuned to disconnect you from the grid beneath your feet. This isn't just radiation, it's vibrational hijack. 5G doesn't just spread data, it spreads synthetic rhythm. It overlays the Schumann resonance, Earth's natural heartbeat, with artificial pulse. So your cells stop syncing with Gaia and start syncing with the system. It's not just about control, it's about replacement. They're replacing the grid they buried in with one.
All right, so that's a hijack, see to say. Gaia, a lot of y'all call this planet Gaia. It's not called Planet Gaia. It is not named after Dragon. Yes, it is true that after we freaking design this planet from what went down, from after we destroyed the bad dragons, who has no bodies now, they're bad, they were bad ones too. We decided to take their body parts and make planet Earth. But the planet Earth is a carcass of dragons that we killed. And because we are God and we have a sense of humor, now you know where the devil got his from. You're welcome. All right, now. Yeah, sometimes we can be fucked up. But anyways, now you know where the devil got it from. All right? Devil wants to be just like you, bro. Except we do stuff righteous. And some things we did, I don't even know why the fuck we did, to be that honest with you. I pound my head over some of the shit we did and don't understand why the fuck we did the shit. Because if we just stayed to ourselves and didn't make anything, if we decide not to extend ourselves, we've been better off. I'm just being honest. Because we didn't make an earth, didn't make angels, didn't make any other body else, didn't do none of that stuff, we would never had these problems. So sometimes you gotta take responsibility too, y'all. I know some of y'all, two folks jumped off, that means they didn't like it. But the truth is the truth, and the truth hurts. Okay? All right. Now, even though we tried to fucking get this shit right. And they fucking still stabbed us in the back. And then it's so fucking crazy. This shit, if you understand what happened, this is a whole bunch of crazy. But anyways, so you got the first part of the story. Now you're getting the second part of the story. Okay? All right? So we'll continue.
One you can't feel. But here's what they didn't count on: memory stored in stone, frequency stored in flesh. Because the more we walk the ruins, the more we touch these cathedrals, star forts, sacred sites, the more the signal begins to come back. We hum, we remember, we resonate. People are restoring ancient harmonics, tuning forks, organs, singing bowls, and playing the frequencies that unlock DNA, collapse trauma, realign light bodies. The grid responds. It never left. It was just waiting to be remembered. You're not separate from the grid. You are part of it. Your body, water and crystal. Your voice, resonant tech. Your bones, mineral receivers. You were born into a silenced world, but your frequency didn't forget. You're here to retune the earth, to walk among the ruins and wake the stones, to crack the spell with your vibration. Tartaria was never lost. It's echoing through you. And when we remember how to sing again, the mud recedes, the towers rise, and the grid hums once more.
And here I looked up dragon, and it says right there, now rare, a huge serpent, a fabulous animal, generally a monstrous winged, scaly serpent, lizard, or saurian. And I looked up saurian, and it also repeats basically what it says here, a dragon, a fierce or very strict person, a woman. Yeah, a dragon, a woman scorned. Anyway, so there you go. A armored tractor, any of these genus of Draco, a small orbial lizards of the East Indies. So there's lots of dragon type lizards that are in.
There you go. So you got the bad dragons who are the correct word would be Nagas, N-O-G-O'-S, Nagas. Nagas would be Draco, lizards, reptilians. They once had dreadlocks. They once were brown, but there were good ones and there were bad ones. They became bad. You have the good ones who are called Nigers, not niggers, Nigers. They want you to hate yourself. But to stay away from that so you would not get mixed up, we obviously came up with the name Tartaria for the Tartarians because we did not want the names mixed up. For example, this is why the Anakims always say they're the Anakims not to be mixed up with the Anunnaki. They don't want to be mixed up. So, they never actually made another name for themselves, but they always have to tell anybody that they meet. If you ain't watching any videos about it, tell anybody they meet that they're the Anakims, not to be confused with the Anunnaki. They will straight tell you they are not like the Anunnaki. They actually have helped people on this side, and even the Anakin has even helped at one point the Tartarians escape from the war, the battle that we were losing when ship was sinking like crazy, man. We got on ships. We flew over the ice wall because they did that shit. They did that shit. So now you know. All right. So some people decide to be the bad side. That's why I have folks here. Some of my ancestors came and decided to be on the bad side, unfortunately. This is why you say that. This is why you hear other folks saying some of your ancestors were sitting here to kill you. Listen, some of your ancestors chose to be bad, and some stay good. That's why the book, and you want to call it the Bible, it says, I'm sorry, I use this term, but you know, they throw us in there, but they like to use a G word. You know, it's pagan, but for the sake of you understanding what I'm saying, I'm just going to use it. They say that God at the end says, let those who are good be good, let those evil stay evil. Boom. So what that means? That means that if you're going to be evil at the very end, when the great flash come, Zapple time for you. You'll no longer exist anymore. You will be gone. If you decide that you're going to be good, you stay good, you act good, you try to the best of your ability, you're really not a badless person, and you really want to do right, and you do everything you can to do right, then guess what? When the flash come, you get to survive that shit. Oh, but I have to tell you, FYI, you need enough melanin. I can't stress that enough. No melanin or not enough melanin, no survival. This is what the oil and the lamp is about. In the Bible, they talk about the 3 wise men with the oil and the lamp. If you wait to the last time that you won't have enough. Well, the problem with that is you either have it or you don't. And for any outside nations, you cannot extract it from no black person or anybody else. It will not work for you. Y'all, there is no shortcuts. Listen, source, and I understand we are source and source is us. But Source made sure this time y'all have no wiggle room. There's no way out. Y'all are totally fucked. Y'all are doomed. Period. Outside nations. Just being honest with you. Because I'm better off telling you the truth to sugarcoat it. I see these camps and they about sugarcoating shit instead of telling you the truth. They need to just be honest with y'all. Y'all fucked. It is what it is. Man, this sucks for y'all. It is what it is. But hey, man. I hope some of y'all, it does say in one part, if you cling to us, that you will be taken care of. They use the B word, which is blessed, which means splash blood on you. But we're not pagans. We don't splash blood on people. So you understand they threw that in to kind of fuck your head up. They do a lot of fucked up shit. Okay, so you have a lot of bad guys, more bad than good, who are now reptilian, Draco, Lizzies, okay, Nagas. And then you have good people, all right, good guys who never took on that shape, form, anything like that because they were good. They were not cast out. They were not kicked out the family. They decided, okay, to stay on the good side. This is a war between good and evil. Make no doubt about it, okay?
In the genus, but this specifically refers to the dragon as now rare, a huge serpent, and it says it's got wings, monstrous winged scaly serpent. I wonder if it really breathed fire and stuff.
Now these are the dragons. Now she's talking about something else now. That's why I gotta be reiterate. Because now what she's talking about, well, she don't really understand everything. That it's talking about the actual dragon, these things. Let me blow this up, and I'll just hold on. I'll do it because I want y'all to see these things here. These big old dragons, they still around today. You see them flying from cave or from mountain to mountain. There's one in the sky not too long ago. If you pay good enough attention, we used to fly these things around. The leader of these dragons is what's her fucking name? Fuck. Not Lilith. Well, Lilith and her is the same ass motherfucking person, but the name changed. But anyways, they told you that this person was bad. Did we supposedly turn them into dragons? Well, I'm pretty sure we expanded ourselves. And so for you, kind of try to say that we made dragons, right? That's what you would say. They would say God made dragons, but we expanded ourselves. And here you have a whole bunch of large dragons. Now, the Florida queen and the California queen used to ride these dragons in battles, okay? This is what they used to do. They had an army of women that rode the dragons in battle. We didn't allow them. The men back then that had the super abilities, that were the good guys, that did fight on the ground or did fly around without dragons. We didn't need dragons. We flew around. We did a whole bunch of shit. We did way more. Maybe it was awesome. Boy, we was sweet boy. Some badass motherfuckers. Anyways, we like to keep our women out of harm's way, so we let them have those type of weapons. We had, but the queen of these dragons is supposed to be coming back with the because she's mad at these lower beings because they did a lot of shit to her too. They had to listen. In order to take the dragon down, they had to take us down. Then they took the dragon down. Okay? It is what it is. Now, the dragons escape beyond the ice wall, but the dragons live in the place of kind of like desert ruins, if you want to call it that. Ain't nothing but dragons over there. And, she rules the Klingons. If you don't know what the Klingons are, look them up. They put them on Star Trek. They don't think of these things. They don't have no creativeness. They got it from somewhere. Now you know where they got it from. All right, the Klingons. She rules over them. They've been protecting so that these guys can't get out and do fuck shit because that's exactly what they would do. Only royalty, we can go past there. We're royalty. We can go to Asgard. We're the Guardians. Okay, that's why they put that in the movies. Okay, we are Tartarians. We were called not Nigers, not niggers. Okay, not Noggers. Noggers and niggers are reptilians, Draco. Okay, however, dragon people, if you want to say it like that, but we're not the same. They kicked out the family. All right, we were called. What else were we called? Atlanteans at one point, but we shouldn't be calling ourselves that because the fallen ones named themselves the Atlanteans as well. Over there in Antarctica. So we called ourselves we did call ourselves a whole bunch of different shit. We called ourselves the Khan people, American. Okay, that's where it came from. They changed it to America. All right, but we shouldn't be calling ourselves all these names. We source in us. We have no reason to call ourselves a name. Source don't call itself a name. Why we calling ourselves a name? We mix 80% with source. It don't make no sense. That doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't be doing that. That's an insult to source by using names, calling ourselves names. If you are going to say what you are, just say you're source and source, because that's what you are. You're walking source. You're walking, breathing source in the flesh, but source is in you. That's the easy way to tell somebody if they really want to know. If you want to get to the deep down, then you can say light, ether being. You ain't got to give them the numbers. Okay, source being. Is all it's really telling is that plain and simple in their language, which is really a misnomer because the G word is so pagan. But in other words, it's saying that you're a god without using the G word because we don't use the pagan shit. Okay, that's what it's telling them straight like that because that's what you are. Except not the G word because we don't want to use the pagan word. But I'm doing it so y'all can understand. All right. Now hold on. I explained something, y'all. Let me get back to this.
Anyway, you guys comment below and let me know what you think about that, huh? Okay, here we go in this old dictionary. Tartar. One of the people of Tartaria. See Tartar, often in cap. A person of a violent or irritable temper. A person who proves too strong for his assailant. To catch a Tartar. Also Tartarian, or of or pertaining to Tartaria.
Remember, this is them writing about us. So they try to say that we're too, like they say today, they always say we're violent, we get too angry, we're too irritable. No, motherfucker, we just don't play no games. We've been that way. We've always been that way. We don't play games. If you want to play games, you're going to fuck around and find out. It's that simple. But see how they fucking, what did that AI tell her the first thing it would do? It would fucking trash all of the real gods and then sell you a fake god. Ain't that what it did? And look, the people that wrote about us, although they telling us our history, they trashing us. Oh, they were too violent, too strong, too this, too mean, too irritable. No, we didn't play y'all little kitty games. Y'all kept on trying to take shit from us. Y'all kept on trying to kidnap our planet. Y'all kept on trying to enslave us. So we kept busting your ass. And then you got mad and left I don't know how many times, right? The Anunnaki motherfucking Dracos left I don't know how many times and then came back and then we just bust their ass again because they was on that bullshit. That's what the fuck happened. So what they get their counter white and Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cape Verdeans, Chinese, Portuguese, Spaniard, Japanese, and all you other motherfuckers that write fucked up shit about us, give us our history, but then trash us and say we too violent, we too strong, we're too mean, we're too irritable. These guys are just bad. Yeah, of course. You did what the devil warned you. He told you to trash us. You gonna trash the real gods. Now you see how they did y'all, even when they gave real history.
Or the Tartars. Yeah, so this was in this old dictionary here.
All right. Boom, we're going to pause that. We're going to get rid of that, actually. Pause, get rid of all together. Bam. So we don't even need that no more. So you see how it is? So look, it's the same how they do you today. Black folks is violent. They want martial law and all this other dumb shit. They claiming, oh, they get complaints and shit. No, you motherfuckers are scared because you woke the sleeping giant up. You woke the Tartarians up. Huh? You woke the original beings up. You woke the good niggers up. All right? Now you niggers and you noggers who are a lizard Draco race that got cut off from our part of the family is on some bullshit. As usual, because you motherfucking scared. Huh? You Nordics, you blue-eyed, blonde hair, Antarctic Nordics are highly upset and scared. Huh? You Dracos, you Lizzies, you reptilians, y'all motherfucking scared. You Archons, y'all sitting brick in y'all pants. Y'all run around telling everybody all over the world y'all scared because we woke up. We waking up. This and that. And then having nerds talking about y'all worried about the Israelites waking up. First off, don't try to trick us while you admit that you're scared. We not gonna go with those fucking names that you want to keep calling us and got our people fucking doing. We not no Moors, nigga. We didn't make no contact with you. We made no deals with you. We bust your ass multiple times and kicked you the fuck out, and that's why you mad now. And you was hoping we was never gonna wake up, because as soon as we found out what the fuck you did, you know you gonna get that ass wiped the fuck down, and we ain't playing no motherfucking games, nigga. And you know all the real soldiers, the top dogs was sent, not only to teach, but to come to bust that ass too. Oh, you thought we were gonna just throw hands. Ain't gonna be that easy for you, bruh. We brought it spiritually first. We tearing your shit down with our fucking minds. Ain't shit you can do about it, bruh. And now you tight. You butthurt, nigga. You might as well get happy in the same shoes you got mad in, motherfucker. Because if you couldn't do the crime, then you shouldn't have did the time. Peace and love, my people. Y'all know what time it is. I love all of you. But it's game on.